Care fraud scheme worth $400 million.
This 2 years after Contact 5 investigator Katie LaGrone exposed how the scam worked.
Who? To who? You have to have done it to someone, but there's no effort at all to uncover that.
I thought he should have been ashamed of himself. Then I watched Floyd Money Mayweather with Jim Gray. And I said, wait a minute. I smell something. Something seems a bit fishy.
No, money is what you smelled.
I smelled something.
Joe Rogan directly confronts Floyd Mayweather on his podcast, highlighting alarming financial issues plaguing the former champion boxer. Rogan exposes a staggering $500 million debt burden and reveals that $20 million remains unpaid to the IRS. He scrutinizes Mayweather's extravagant spending habits, labeling them dangerous and unsustainable, which casts serious shadows over his financial future.
Floyd Mayweather. He's the only guy who's been able to just be balling out of control, constantly flashing money, $1 million watches, you know, a fleet of super expensive cars, and still fucks everybody up. The thing about Floyd is he never lost his discipline. Floyd would famously run home from the nightclub. So he would go out in Vegas, he'd be partying, he'd look like a party, he's drinking water, and then he would have his driver drive, and with his pants on, jeans on, he would jog home. And the dude was always trained.
Floyd Mayweather built his reputation on flaunting wealth through social media displays of cash stacks, designer clothing, and luxury vehicles. However, beneath this glamorous facade lies troubling reality, as reports indicate millions still owed to tax agencies and creditors, despite continued excessive expenditures. This stark contrast between public persona and actual financial responsibilities exposes how reckless spending threatens even highly successful careers, raising legitimate concerns about his empire's true foundation.
I mean, he fought Logan Paul. Logan Paul weighs 200 plus pounds. And he turned the shit out of Logan Paul's neck. Like, crazy. Like, wow. And I think he held him up like, hey, man, don't fall because you'll mess the money up.
If they were the same size, I think Floyd would have knocked him out. Logan was so big.
Oh,
he was so much bigger than him.
But them shots, though, was
It's so crazy to see a guy who is the best boxer of all time having a fight with this super athletic, gigantic YouTube kid.
The physical mismatch was striking during Floyd's career evolution from technically gifted athlete to wealth-obsessed celebrity. Joe Rogan observed this transformation, criticizing how Mayweather's priorities shifted from competitive excellence to pure profit generation. This transition fundamentally altered his fighting approach and public connection, as what began as pursuit of greatness morphed into calculated business venture, leveraging controversy and financial incentives.
One of the things that people forget is that Floyd went through a big transition of his own. If you go back to the early parts of his career and you watch when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was a much more aggressive fighter and he would put himself in danger much more. And then when he became Money Mayweather, just got so much more brilliant defensively. And then he became the guy that you see shutting out Canelo Alvarez, stopping all these guys, just shutting everything down. He just became this defensive wizard.
Mayweather's Ethereum Max endorsement triggered severe public backlash when investors viewed his cryptocurrency promotion as exploitative manipulation. Following devastating investor losses, pump and dump allegations severely damaged his reputation, while suggesting profit prioritization over ethical standards. Subsequent lawsuits intensified scrutiny regarding celebrity responsibility and financial endorsements, applying significant reputational pressure on Mayweather's standing.
Floyd Mayweather used to be having these crazy workouts and he would crack open a Pepsi and people were like, what the f is he doing? Like, he's crazy. That guy never drank, never partied, never was out of shape, never got fat, would run home from the club at 2 o'clock in the morning. If boxing is hit and don't get hit, who's better than Floyd? Right. Zero people. He definitely cracked him at the end of that round and wobbled him, and then it was right at the bell. And so then Floyd got back on his bike and started outboxing him.
Is Ali the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights? Every time boxing come on, you don't bring up Muhammad Ali name. You don't bring up Mike Tyson name. You always bring up Floyd Mayweather name because I'm still the face of boxing.
When you think about Floyd talking about greater than Ali, he's very delusional. Listen, he can't take his kid to school by himself. And he's talking about he's great. He's a little scared man. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people.
Despite mounting criticism, Mayweather displays zero remorse while persistently posting wealth-focused content as though immune to public disapproval. This defiant strategy potentially backfires, since attempts at projecting strength actually highlight the disconnect between his manufactured image and surrounding controversies threatening his credibility.
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
You feel that disappointment that the fans felt that maybe you didn't get the best Manny Pacquiao that night?
We're not going to do that. We're not going to talk about that. You was one of the guys that believed in Pacquiao.
I did.
Okay. So now we don't want you to back out the block. And I told you before, that was easy work. So if you believe in Pacquiao, you need to go back and say, you need to sit down and do a story and say, you know what? I believe in Pacquiao, and it's his fault. It's not Mayweather's fault, because Mayweather did what he always do. Be a calculated fighter, be a smart fighter, and find a way to win.
And I did that because I said that although there was a problem with his shoulder, whether it existed or not, I always said there was no. Wait.
Floyd was great, but he didn't want smoke with Winky. Yeah, he didn't want smoke with Winky. He didn't want smoke with Triple G either. But there are people who look at that situation and be like, I mean, that's crazy. But that's what the great ones do. They do crazy shit. But Floyd did enough crazy stuff, though. Listen, I don't have that much criticism towards Floyd. I just don't think he's as great as everyone say. He's the greatest ever. That's silly talk to me. But he was jaw-dropping great. The impact of Floyd is my thing, and that's not criticism on Floyd. That's criticism on followers. So everybody followed what they perceived to be his blueprint. That's my criticism. It's never Floyd.
Critics identify emerging patterns where Mayweather prioritizes attention-seeking over genuine substance through bizarre spending choices and peculiar public displays. His apparent strategy involves amplifying his persona rather than rebuilding damaged trust, suggesting deeper disconnection where celebrity status masks potential financial instability beneath the surface.
Problems.
So Floyd Mayweather just got done with a boxing match against John Gotti III, and well, in the boxing match, specifically in the second round, Floyd Mayweather kicked out a ref, and they replaced it with a new one because the ref took too long pausing the fight. Let me know in the comments if this is one of the craziest things you've seen in a boxing match.
Joe Rogan maintains transparent opinions about cryptocurrency, comparing digital currencies to high-stakes gambling, while acknowledging legal status doesn't eliminate ethical concerns. His perspective reflects widespread anxiety about celebrity influence promoting dangerous investments to unsuspecting followers seeking quick returns.
The referee said Floyd Mayweather hit him behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100% correct. The punch landed the side of the head. It's a right hook. It's a perfect punch. And the referee was saying, watch the back of the head. He's like, what the f are you talking about? And so he kicks the guy out, and they bring in a different referee who finishes the fight. It was insane.
Rogan's criticism extends beyond individual investments to encompass entire digital asset culture, explaining how profit-chasing mentality blinds people to inherent risks and market opacity. His harsh commentary about NFT enthusiasts demonstrates frustration with trending disconnection from rational financial decision-making processes driven by manufactured excitement.
You'll just look at boxing in terms of like how often you get hit versus how often do you hit the other guy. He's the best ever. The way him and his uncle and his father talk, I imagine they were always super competitive from the time they were young.
Yeah.
Like he grew up being they're super competitive. They're competitive about talking shit. They're competitive about all kinds of things. So it's like that hive, like growing up with that all the time, and the boxing skill.
Rogan's direct observations about Floyd's combat limitations resonated widely, emphasizing how ring dominance doesn't translate across different competitive environments. His criticism underscored that confidence alone cannot substitute genuine expertise in unfamiliar territories, reminding audiences that wealth fails to purchase authentic respect where skill determines credibility.
And Floyd Mayweather says he makes $300 million a month, which is $3.6 billion a year. He makes more money than Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, all of those guys. So I say all that to say this. The money that Canelo was looking for, they can easily come up with that money. Floyd Mayweather got it.
Well, listen, let me put it this way to you. If he makes, what did he say, $300 million a month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm 6'4" and 240. And I know I'm 5'8.5" and 240. So there you go. There's no way. There's that. If he makes $3 million a month on his investments, that's a lot. $36 million a year. That's a lot. So I know guys that are worth, $500-600 million, plenty of them, and they don't make $36 million a year, let alone $300 million a month.
The McGregor bout epitomized Mayweather's business-first mentality over authentic competition, widely perceived as manufactured spectacle prioritizing revenue over sporting integrity. His retirement reversal purely for financial gain demonstrated how legacy transformation into commercial commodity undermines competitive credibility and sporting heritage.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Here is what Floyd Mayweather had said at the time on a video that he posted on his Instagram.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me. Guess what? You can do the same.
All right. Well, now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand as a real estate person myself, what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't, but what it seems like is that he owns shares of these buildings, and it's a larger, it's part of an investment that he did on his own.
Mayweather's signature bravado increasingly appears hollow as constant self-promotion amid ongoing controversies raises authenticity questions. Persistent success declarations seem increasingly disconnected from legitimate concerns regarding financial stability and long-term legacy preservation, diminishing his credibility with audiences.
Of his team spoke off the record, and they actually try to modify the story a little bit to get ahead of it. So it went from we own all the buildings with no partners to now their story is changing up a little bit. Oh, they reached out to the Housing Partnership, a spokesperson. Now the Housing Partnership of NYC is a nonprofit group that is a partner in a majority of these like really huge like property deals. And it helps, the person buying it to qualify for tax breaks and grants and preserve the affordability of the portfolio apartments, right? If you're buying affordable housing, then you're gonna go through the NYC Housing Partnership. That never happened, okay? So the spokesperson says the Housing Partnership has not been advised of any sale, pending sale, or change in ownership. Generally, the partnership will be advised of the transfer and will be party to the transfer. That has not occurred. A person directly, now here's where Mayweather get on that BS, bro. All right, here's where the shady business starts.
Family tension, particularly Jeff Mayweather's emotional distancing, reveals how financial obsession strains personal relationships beyond simple business disagreements. These developments suggest Floyd's wealth-centered focus has damaged meaningful family connections, creating isolation despite material abundance and public attention.
One of the things that people forget is that Floyd went through a big transition of his own. If you go back to the early parts of his career and you watch when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was a much more aggressive fighter and he would put himself in danger much more. And then when he became Money Mayweather, like as it got later and later in his life, he just got so much more brilliant defensively. And then he became the guy that you see shutting out Canelo Alvarez, stopping all these guys, just shutting everything down. He just became this defensive wizard to the point where you'd see world-class fighters like Sugar Shane Mosley. Once he recovered, he didn't really know what to do with Floyd. Floyd just had the answers to his style. He had figured him out.
International financial speculation adds complexity to Mayweather's situation through rumors connecting gambling activities or foreign loans to his monetary troubles. His global lifestyle, previously symbolizing achievement, now faces scrutiny regarding potential financial desperation, transforming private matters into public discourse requiring transparent responses.
Floyd's undefeated too, but he's not the greatest boxer of all time, right?
It's arguable he is. It's arguable he is.
I don't think so.
Listen, man,
I feel like he is. He's my favorite.
He's been hit hard maybe 4 times his whole fucking career. Right. You stop and think about how many fights he fought against elite guys. Not just great defense, like the best defense of all time.
Yeah.
You're talking about a guy who's fought everybody. He fought everybody. He fought Canelo. He fought Pacquiao. Maybe he didn't fight Pacquiao when he was in his prime, and maybe he fought Canelo when he was young and made him cut extra weight. He did some smart shit. But at the end of the day,
that's part of being a fighter, though, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, the fucking guy's 49 in Conor McGregor. That's what he is. That's what I say.
Mayweather's carefully constructed luxury brand has become his greatest vulnerability as social media glamour potentially masks less impressive financial reality. Without solid economic foundation, his perception-based empire risks collapse when attention-grabbing tactics can no longer sustain long-term viability and public trust.
Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather are being sued over an alleged crypto pump and dump scam. Investors are accusing the celebrities of promoting a no-name crypto called Ethereum Max.
Do your homework, do your research.
I would not move forward with an endorsement that a celebrity had recommended just on the fact that they were a celebrity.
Kujenwa Moit teaches branding and marketing at Parsons School of Design at the New School.
You know, they did what every scammer would normally do, which is to name it after something that is trusted. In fact, what we came to find is Ethereum Max has nothing to do with Ethereum. It doesn't even sit on the Ethereum blockchain, but it's a way of duping people.
Kim Kardashian promoted the coin on Instagram, asking, "Are you guys into crypto? This is not financial advice," and names Ethereum Max.
Kim Kardashian's case, it was declared on the Instagram post that it was a paid promotion.
Floyd Mayweather endorsed the coin at a boxing match with YouTube star Logan Paul.
This is the best day of my life.
Accepting the coin as payment for boxing tickets.
Trying to buy celebrity names to promote their assets. And so the ultimate question is, should someone who's being paid for promoting a product be ultimately held accountable?
Crypto and blockchain attorney Felix Shipkevich says the celebs are only doing their job of promotion. He gave an example of a celebrity promoting a car advertisement.
You know, sometime down the road, this EV has major issues, goes up in flames, or the brakes stop working. Are we going to end up suing that celebrity?
Mounting pressure from industry insiders and supporters indicates necessary behavioral changes toward transparency and accountability before his reputation suffers irreparable damage. Contemporary discussions surrounding Floyd transcend boxing and money, focusing on legacy preservation as controversies threaten to overshadow his athletic accomplishments, marking a sobering transformation for someone once dedicated to ring excellence.
I'm always bringing the people into my life. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. I have to bring you guys into my life on a daily basis. Check out my view again. Once again, I should say. The Michael Jackson steps.
That concludes today's content. Stay tuned for upcoming coverage.